The materials and tools that we will be using to make these crocheted slippers, our main color is by Loops and Threads, Impeccable Brights, in the color Red Hot. I will be using 2 strands of this, but we will only need 1 skein. We have a light pink, a size 8mm crochet hook, pair of scissors, and a large eye tapestry needle. I am taking the yarn from the outside and from the center pool to create a 2-strand that we will use to crochet together in making these slippers. In making of these, I encourage you to pull out enough yarn so that your stitches will maintain the proper tension. We're going to start with a magic circle and a chain 1. Untwist any tails from your magic circle, and into the magic circle we're going to be placing 10 half double crochets. Yarn over, drop a loop through the circle, yarn over through all 3 loops on the hook. Continue till you have 10. When you have 10, take the tail from your magic circle, place your finger and thumb at the end of your stitching, and pull. You can pull it tight so that your circle closes all the way. Bring this into the center. Do not cut this. Into our chain 1, place a slip stitch. Oops, I missed it. Oh, there you go. And chain 1. Now into our first stitch here, we're going to place 1 half double crochet. I guess it wants to play games with me. Sometimes you have to show your stitches who's boss. Okay, so in that same space, 1 half double crochet. The chain 1 will count as a half double crochet. In the next stitch, 2 half double crochets, and you'll place 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. Since the chain 1 is counted as a half double crochet, you will be placing a total of 19 half double crochets around the ring. I'll meet you at the end. Please pause your video. At the end, make sure that you have 19 half double crochets and your chain 1. Now we're going to slip stitch into our chain 1 and chain 1. We will now begin our 3rd row. This will also be known as our repeat row. So into our first stitch, half double crochet, and into the rest, 1 half double crochet all the way around. When you get to the end of the row, slip stitch into the first chain 1 right here. Then we will repeat this, and I will tell you in just a second for how many rows. So here I am at the end of the row. I'm going to slip stitch into that chain 1, and chain 1 and repeat this row. We are going to do this for a total of 7 rows. So here's 1, 2, 3. We're on row 4, so we'll have 5, 6, 7. So when you get to row 7 and you're going to go in a constant circle, you're going to find it to be cupping as it is. I'll meet you there, where we will begin row 8 and starting on the sides. This is what the top of the slipper looks like if you were placing your toes in it right here. At this time, you may want to place this on your foot to see if it covers as much of your foot up to your ankle as you desire. I feel that the 7 rows covers quite a bit of my foot, so that I'm not going to be adding any more. Let's move on to row 8. We've chained 1. Now we're going to place 14 half double crochets.
Don't sing.
Sorry, I left my video on. Sometimes I watch these videos and the volume goes off on them and I forget to turn them off. But I like to watch as I go along. So we're doing 14 half double crochets, and when we stop we'll have 5 open right here. So let's do the 14 half double crochets and I'll meet you at the end of the row. So with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches left, this will be the opening so that our foot be like this. So let's chain 1 and turn, and this will be our repeat. For my foot, I needed 8 more rows so that it came to the heel of my foot. This is where you can make the length however long or short you may need. So continue on for 8 rows. Check and see if it's long enough, and if it is, we're going to go ahead and I'll show you how to finish up the edges. So continue with the 14 half double crochets, chain 1 and turn your work, and I'll meet you when you have enough length to sew the end of your slipper. So this is what my slipper looks like. We have our 7 rows here, and then our 8 rows here. So at the end, I'm going to cut us a little tail, and this will be our sewing tail. And I'm going to pull it through. Now we're going to go ahead and take the back half here and fold them together, and we're going to sew it. And I'm going to show you how I do my X stitch. So to place the yarn on the needle, you want to bring it between your fingers, bring the yarn up and pinch it tight against the end of the needle. And then with that folded yarn, wiggle it through and then pull it. This way you don't have any snags by using the raw edges of the yarn. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, since I'm right-handed, I'm bringing mine from right to left, or to left to right, and I'm going to go just above this V stitch right here, and I'm going to go back through it. We're going to go around that a couple of times so that we have a nice solid back. Alright, so we have that right there. Okay, so you'll see how our stitches line up next to each other as we go down. So I'm going to go across, okay, I'm going to go down to the next set. And you'll notice that as we close it, it kind of gives it a little line down. And since there's only 7 stitches that we're taking here, we're going to go down to the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to stop just above that very bottom one. If you put too much there, it'll make a pointy end. So now we stopped here, so let's go back up and into the same stitches that we had before. I'm going to get the twist out of my yarn here. And it'll look kind of like a little X, but it looks like it kind of got buried in there, didn't it? Anyway, this reinforcing the back seam. So when you get to the top, go through, bring your needle inside, and we're going to go down these stitches right here. And we're going to lock in our yarn. So to come back and pull it just a little bit, come back, go over the top one, because if you go back in through the same without going over the top of that yarn, it'll come back on you. So here we have our last one. Go over the top of it. Okay, and this will lock our yarn in. And here we have a nice little finish on the end. Let's go ahead and turn our slipper inside out so we can finish our magic circle knot. So I have threaded my needle already, and I'm going to go in here around these stitches. I know you're not going to get every single one of them, but that's okay. What we're trying to do is just kind of lock in what we've done around. Now I'm going to come over here and start to go backwards. And this will help reinforce what we've added already for our toe. Okay, so now I'm going to go over one and come back. And here we have our finished slipper. Let's go on to our next, which will be the heart. This is the finished look, so I wanted to show you this is the little heart that I'm going to be adding to my slipper. Pull out your pink yarn and let's begin. I wanted to add that this heart is optional. I'm doing this because the slippers are red and it reminds me of Valentine's. So we're going to start with a magic circle, pull up a loop, and lock in our loop. Okay. Chain 2, 1, 2. Now into our magic circle, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3. Now if your circle starts, your magic circle starts to get a little large, just pull your tail and you'll be fine. Pull out some more yarn. The next we're going to do is 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3. See how it's starting to form this shape of a heart already? Chain 1, 1 double crochet, and here we have half. Chain 1, 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, my yarn meeting me. 3. Okay, we're at the top. Chain 2. Okay. Fix your tail and slip stitch into our magic circle. Alright, so we have this. Now we're going to take our tail and go ahead and pinch right here and pull that tail. It's being a little difficult right now. I guess I can snap. There we go. And then let's take our slip stitch and tighten it up. Let's cut us a little tail. Make sure you use the right one to finish your stitches off with, and tighten it up. And here we have a little heart. Flip your heart over, and with our 2 tails, place a square knot. Isn't that cute? Next, we're going to place it on our slipper. Since I already have one completed, this one will go on to the other side right here. So at where this corner meets here, I'm going to place it right here. So with my crochet hook, I'm going to pull one set of strings down. With my crochet hook, I'm going to come in and pull the top half of the strings, and then I'm going to skip down and pull the bottom half. And this will give our location of where it's going to be. Tie a square knot. Cut it, leaving about a 1/2 inch tail. Alright, we're not done yet. We're going to add a little bow. To add the little bow, we're going to go ahead and thread our needle. Leave a little tail inside the needle here. We're going to come down, go through all of the loops, and then come up about the same location on the other side of the heart and bring it through. You can take your needle out and then make them so that they're half and tie a square knot. And then tie a little bow . Pull your little bow tight. And then we're going to cut the ends. And we now have a pair of slippers. The total time that I took for making these was about 1.5 hours for the whole set. So I hope that you have a chance to make these with this thicker yarn and with the little accent here. I hope these keep your feet nice and warm. With the extra yarn, it makes it super soft and a little thicker, so obviously your feet will be able to keep and maintain their warmth. Thank you so much for joining me in this slipper tutorial. I hope you come again. My name is Garnet, and I was so happy that you were here to make these slippers with me. And until next time, bye-bye.